I don't call the stuff I get into philosophical because really philosophical is like ideas being exchanged. But really, I like to get into the nuts and bolts, the real tangible stuff that we all deal with day in and day out. And economics is one of those things. And there's math involved. So it's very logical, it's very scientific stuff I get into. But I like to explain to people how these things affect us psychologically, emotionally. And there's different kinds of illness. There's not just mental illness out there, physical illness. There's political illness where people have too much faith in the political system. There's emotional illness. There's economic illness. Okay, and economic illness is probably the best way to describe the stuff I get into because I like to describe the relationship between the way we feel psychologically, our degree of happiness, how it's dictated by our state of financial affairs. So the degree of fear that we feel, the amount of insecurity we feel financially in any way, and that's a very powerful way. It's very frightening. It's terrifying. Okay, to people. Do you understand? If you've never felt it, okay, it's very real. It's very true that people feel very bad, very scared, very worried because of financial reasons. And freedom is out the window, okay, the most cherished value. So you understand how this affects us psychologically, how it makes us want to run, not walk away from the situation if we're normal, upright, decent human beings. It makes us want to engage in different forms of escapism, some healthier than others, but nevertheless, it's still a dissipation of time that could be spent more wisely. It's a bad thing, okay? It's a bad thing. It's pernicious, and it's rampant in our society. How can it not be? We're so dependent on the money masters of misery, okay? These very mean people, decidedly mean, bad actors, running a bad religion, establishmentarianism, and shoving it down our throats from birth, training us to accept it, that it's normal, it's just the way it is, don't question it, somehow it all makes sense, trust us. See, trust us. They become like the God of this world, the priests of this world, and they got a different way. It's about temporal, ephemeral success. That's all you care about, is being somebody in the eyes of the world, men. And you want status, you want to be exalted and vaunted, and you want to be a man of great importance, very important person, right? And necessary to save the planet. You get rid of the vast majority of people and you've done your God approves of you. Lucifer, the light bearer, a deceitful light. And people could be beaming from ear to ear about something and it's the wrong values. I don't know what stuff I've repeated or not. I told you I did this video twice now. I'm trying to remember some of the stuff without repeating myself. But we know that's the state of affairs, is that, the values that God wants us to, proper values to have, to behold, to embrace, to seek, okay, are completely diametrically opposed to the ones the world tells you, okay? Which is all about money. It's a part of every facet of our lives, day in and day out. We think of it with every waking moment practically. Money has something to do with everything about our lives. So psychologically, it affects us profoundly. Emotionally, it affects us profoundly. Politically, it can affect us profoundly. Always, mentally, okay, physically. Because if your mental health isn't good, your emotional health, some other form of health out there, a part of your essence, your spiritual health, okay? That's another illness, spiritual blindness. Then your body is going to feel it too. So we're all under a lot of duress, and we should all take time to thank God that He knows. He knows, and He's there for you, to comfort you, to encourage you, to strengthen you, to help you to stand in this storm, to keep walking on the water like Peter going to Jesus. Then he lost his faith because he looked around him at how horrible the storm was, and he sunk. And it's easy. We all do it. We're all Peters out there. But we got to come back to God. I mean, you know what? It's our only hope, that there is a good, loving God, and He is going to save us from this horrible situation that civilization finds itself in, and it's all at the hands of these mean people, these money masters of misery. I'm telling you, they do not care about you. In fact, in their sick and twisted minds, they've rationalized what they're doing. They want to get rid of the vast majority of people, and they're the earth's savior. I mean, this is what they've concocted, conjured up in their minds. They're given over to evil. Some of these people are just blatant, admitted Satanists. They're very candid about that fact. And it's, again, one more reason why we need God. We need God to fight our battles, but we have to be a part of that because we're a conduit for his work. We're like the foot soldiers. He's living vicariously through us as we need to live vicariously through him, to walk this walk, to have the courage to say, I don't care. I mean, if it costs my life to speak truth to power and get to the bottom of this and just, help information, education, knowledge, wisdom, help it along, because it's all the same. God's will for us is clear. It always has been. What he wants for us, he wants us set free. The captives must and will be set free. Okay, and all this business about money being relevant, it needs to go out the door, out the window. We got to figure this out. We have the ability to figure it out and live in a world entirely without any form of money. I mean, let's just take it on face value. I mean, if God just gives us all a planet, we're his equally beloved children, then what's his message to us? Do we need to ask? Share. And what if we did that? Gave each other shares in the earth's resources and each other's labor. Of course my labor is free to you. Look, I was granted this. I was born. There's no sense in putting it dollars and cents. You see, money has no relevance in a situation where we're all born free. You must be free financially. Freedom is an absolute term. It's unconditional. It's complete. It's total. And if we're not financially free, we cannot be free. It's as simple and cut and dried as that. So you imagine the world of tomorrow, it's got to be a world without any form of money. That is the biggest stumbling block. That is the turd in the punch bowl. How many turds are too much for you? Okay, one little tiny one's too much for me. I ain't drinking it. And I think a lot of the believers understand what I'm saying here. We're an entirely different breed. These people are on the high path to destruction of their own choice. Okay, they mock those that are being saved. They say, you're the stupid ones. And they're perishing. But they're calling the believers stupid for having faith in God. Oh, you just need a crutch. There's no God. Don't be stupid. Soul schmoll. There's no, that's not going to pay my rent. Conscience. No. I want money. That's what you want. I'm training you thusly to have all the faith in the world in this bad religion that's peddled by the money masters of misery and all their freaking minions, their mini elitists thereof, in the Congress and the Senate, the critical mass they need. An executive branch often, not Trump. That's one good thing about Trump. He's anti-establishmentarian. He's a renegade. I respect that. I don't respect the fact that he's rich, but I respect that. But these people have bad intentions for you, my friends. They don't give a crap about people dying and starving in the streets. And I mean, you name it. The sky's the limit. Starting wars for profit where innocent men, women, and children are maimed and killed. There's no limit to what these gods, they love it. Make God witness this. Feckless pustule, paper tiger of a God. Let's see you do something. Now, you see, but he's not. He's going to put his foot down for the righteous so his name may remain vindicated. And that's good news for the righteous. That's encouraging. That's comforting. But it takes a tiny bit of faith. Take that leap of faith, free insurance. I mean, what does a believer lose if they've spent their life trying to be faithful and letting it grow? As opposed to an atheist that says, that's stupid. That's foolish time spent foolishly having faith. It's just a crutch. Nonsense. You're just not going to exist anymore. There's no accountability. You don't get to store up anything good in your character. There's no reason to follow the laws except that you want to avoid prison. There's ethics and all morals. That's all stupid stuff for chumps, right? I mean, nobody's saying these things, but I'm trying to point. This is the air, of the civilization, purported civilized society. This is crazy. It's crazy, just crazy. I mean, it's insanity. And you've got to see that distinction and go, oh my God, he's right. He's right. And God just showed him these things. It's like as clear as light of day. Oh my God, it's repugnant. It's vile. It's filthy. You don't want anything to do with this system. It's a beast, man. And it's mean, man. And it hates you, man, because you're a human being, man. It's as simple, cut and dried as that. It don't that makes sense. You go to God. You want sense. It's about free will choice. These people have the choice to be evil, and they've got a lot of power. But remember, ultimately, God's will is going to be established on earth. So they need to put that in their pipe and smoke it, all those evildoers. But loving these people is like throwing holy water on them. They didn't ask for it. It makes them angry. It makes them seethe with hatred. They hate you loving them. They don't want to be loved. That's a commandment. You must love your enemy. You must. It's not a nicety. It'd be nice if you did that. No, you must love your enemy. You understand? Not a typo. But you see how different things are from God's eyes. And when you see that distinction, you go, oh my God. It's like, whoa, it's so easy to fall into the side of darkness and think it's light. Make sure the light within you is not actually darkness. Mammon, you cannot serve two masters. The money, the God of this world, oh my God, is so powerful. It's so effective. Oh, for so long. Oh my God, but he's going to put his foot down for the good, decent, upright people. And we just need to believe that just a little bit. We need to unify and pray for God's help, individually and collectively, to unite and overpower these people with information and empowerment and tell them, no, this is how it's going to be. You see, we got to let them be done being the master gangsters here, and we the people need to take over this country. And it's a big deal. We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve, put it in the hands of the United States Treasury, get a new dollar started, reset the economy, because it's so far down the demonic rabbit hole toward hell. I mean, we need God's help. We need God's help. We need God's help. I don't know how many times I can say that or how clearly I can say that. But, I mean, it's a big deal because there is pain to be had. If we let these people keep going the way they're going, they'll destroy everything, man. And their time is going to get cut short, like Christ said. He says, unless that time was cut short, all flesh would be destroyed. That's what these people would like to do. That's how much they hate God. They're so angry with the righteous people that are demanding justice in the land. They hate you so much, like they hated Martin Luther King Jr. and they hated JFK. They hate idealists. They hate egalitarians. They hate anti-racist people. They hate you. They want you divided, and that's what they do. That's what they specialize in. Classism. Okay, it's the best way to keep people divided. The last thing these people want is a united America telling them how it's going to be. Okay, but that's exactly what we need to do. Democrats and Republicans, conservatives and liberals, communists or socialists and capitalists. We all got to come together and say we're all good, decent people that want the best for all men. We're egalitarian at least. We believe in fairness. We're not racist. We want the best not for some select people, privileged, exclusive few, but for all people. We believe in the Constitution, which is not we, some of the people, but we, all the people. And they don't want that. You can bet they don't. You know, King Solomon said loving your enemy is like pouring hot coals over their head. It's interesting because knowing that the evildoers have all the information of the Bible, but you can know everything in the world, just like I know everything about health, nutrition, let's say, but I don't adhere to it. You see, it's the same way. It's as simple as that. That you can know everything about something and say, well, I still reject it. Yeah, that's your opinion. That's your idea. Not taking it as fact, as gospel. No. You say, man, I'm going with the dark side here. I don't believe that. I believe in non-existence. I believe, like the scientists believe, some of them believe, that once brain activity is gone, you don't exist anymore. For all intents and purposes in their mind, there's no afterlife. There's nothing to be a goody two-shoes for here. Honor and praise, glorify God for. There's nothing. That's stupid. That's delusional nonsense, that religious crap. Now, ethics in school, no. That's up to the parents. Yet the parents abort their kids, they adopt them out, they neglect their kids, they abuse their kids. And that's, I mean, if that's not a cop out, I don't know what is. Of course, K through 12 and beyond. Ethics should be mandatory in school. Absolutely. All our laws are based on that. Hell, you can lose your precious freedom if you transgress one of these laws that are constantly being made up. They're changing in flux all the time, perpetually. Some of them make perfect sense and some make absolutely no sense. And they don't have laws where they ought to, like simple golden rule in your business affairs. Oh, no, we can't do that. No, 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 that's religion. No. Be cutthroat in business. Step on toes. Spit in faces. Intimidate. Whatever it takes. You're successful. You made a lot of money. Those are chumps. Don't give me that do goody good